Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today. It's the man they call Meathead. It's the lovely Linda Kay, and the man who has a brand new PWR Fantasy Draft team name, not here, Matthew Thomas. I don't know if he's just not happy about the name of his team, Linda, but he's got a new team name. Linda, good morning. How you doing?
I am doing well, Meathead. Tremendous, as always.
I don't want to bury the lead. We'll get to the name in a second. Go ahead and tell me, but we're going to tell everybody what Matthew's team name is now.
Oh, absolutely. I was just going to say, he's been on assignment once again, I assume, but I am dying to hear this new team name.
So for those of you that don't know, in last week's episode, we had the PWR Fantasy Draft, and I traded my first round pick for the naming rights to his team and his last round pick. So I got an extra pick at the end, and team Meathead is better than I because I said so, or whatever the hell the name was. That was something I made up on the fly. I had an extra day to think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Team Fear Boners. Matthew Thomas's team name is Fear Boners. So hopefully he wears that team name with pride. We may make him get a t-shirt with it. It just says Fear Boner right across his chest there.
So is this team name going to stick?
Well, I wouldn't want a Fear Boner to stick anywhere because it's afraid. So I don't know.
Well, we'll get Matthew's thoughts on that next week.
What we're going to get thoughts on right now is Linda telling us about our sponsors. Linda?
First of all, I am wearing my super comfy, I think this is the comfiest collar and elbow shirt I have. It is beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Whoa. And that was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yes. So as always, if you want to be in comfortable and stylish wrestling street fashion, please go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Check out the latest and greatest. And it's about to turn to summer, so let's check the deals there. Spring into summer. Let's check that out. And
spring into summer. Well, I mean, that's normally how it goes. Yeah.
Right. But if you want to save a little extra cash, you can always use promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKY to save a little extra cash. You're going to save 10% off your order at collarandelbowbrand.com. And I want to fill everybody in on our other great partner here with PWR Today Weekly, and that would be ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Make sure to visit our friend Chris and find out how you can save money. Well, not just save, but dare I say make money? That sounds kind of crazy in the insurance world, but I will let Chris fill you in on how that works because it is affordable supplemental coverage that will make sure you are covered if you get hurt. Because if you get hurt, you get paid. Sounds kind of interesting, right? But it is true. It basically helps you pay your medical bills. You get some of that money back. So affordable coverage as low as $8 a month. ProWrestlingInsurance.com. And if you are an event promoter, planner, there are plans to cater to your event as well to make sure you are covered, as well as life insurance policies as well. Again, ProWrestlingInsurance.com. Visit our friend Chris.
Absolutely. Hey, we kind of led with the name of Matthew Thomas's new team, the Fear Boners. And why don't we just go right into it? It's been a week now. Backlash is kind of sat. It's marinated a little bit. We can kind of think about everything that's happened. Let's talk about week one, the first pay-per-view from the WWE and for the PWR Fantasy Draft for the year 2023-24. Well, the Fear Boners are raging out in front. I mean, they are driving hard with 285 points. Quick change for those that watched the draft last week. Matthew Thomas drafted CM Punk. He right away dropped CM Punk right before the pay-per-view and picked up Bayley. And I don't think he actually acquired the holes in her pants or the name in the back of her head, but he did have to drop 25 points, and he picked up Bayley while dropping CM Punk. 285 for Matthew Thomas. Linda, you did not score over 100 points. You had 95 points. And the man they call Meathead with 105. It's a long race. As defending champion, which I am, I don't know if you guys know this yet or not, I am the reigning and defending champion of the PWR Fantasy Draft. I have no doubts, especially with the AEW pay-per-view only 2 weeks away. However, don't forget, Night of Champions is only 2 weeks away as well. That'll be May 27th. I think it's in Jeddah this year.
I know it is in Saudi Arabia. I'm just not sure what city, but that seems right.
Yeah, it's overseas. Night of Champions.
But bunch of those Day of Champions for us here in the
right at 11 a.m. Yes. Yeah, 11 a.m. Central, 12 o'clock Eastern. So it'll be definitely a Day of Champions. We have already a bunch of matches that have been announced for that as well. But again, Matthew Thomas, 285. The man they call Meathead, 105. And Linda Kay at 95. The Fear Boners really just pulsating right out in front in the lead. Again, I don't know how long we can go. That's what she said. But this name, Matthew Thomas's team name, Fear Boners, will live on in infamy. Let's go through some news real quick here. First off, speaking of the AEW and speaking of pay-per-views, after they're done with the Double or Nothing, after they're done with the Forbidden Door, they're going to be doing All In. And Linda, that's going to be at Wembley Stadium. We scoffed a little. We didn't necessarily mock, but we said, I mean, what are they going to put in that building? You know, for soccer, they could probably get close to 100,000 people in there. What are they going to be able to do for wrestling? Well, I had said maybe 40, 45. Linda, I don't know if you had a guess, but right now, first day ticket sales over 65,000 tickets.
That is impressive. I didn't have a set number, but I do believe I had some faith in that. I'm like, there's some time. There's that international draw, and we had some potential.
That's without the matches. The matches haven't been announced yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we had some speculations on who we might possibly feel would be on to help draw more of that audience. But with it being the first time AEW is going across the pond, that is huge, and that is tremendous news for AEW.
So with it being 65,000 fans already, that are going to be at the show, with those tickets already being sold. And again, you could always configure, we speculated on this too. Do they move the ring halfway up and they cut the stadium off at half to make it a packed full house? Now the ring goes back even farther towards the center, and then you sell out the entire bowl. Mm-hmm. So do they push for a full stadium? Do they leave it here? And if they push for a full stadium, what's it going to take to get that stadium full? Do we need to have Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair do a one-on-one? Something like that. Ric Flair had his retirement match last year at SummerSlam, over the weekend. And Ric Flair said he's technically not retired. He would do another match. Would a Ric Flair match fill the rest of the building?
Absolutely. I would think so.
Wow. I mean, that would be a must-see event. That would be a destination for people, even from over here, in the Americas, to hop a plane, jump the pond, and head on over to All In to see a Ric Flair match that didn't get the chance, like Linda Kay did, to go down and see Ric Flair's last match. So, I mean, we talked about speculating names, Linda. Throw out some names. Who do you think they might be able to bring in for this show?
Oh, man. On the spot right here. Flair would be a huge name. Man.
I don't know if Flair does it by himself, though. I think a Flair-Hogan combination might be something.
You think Hogan? Oh, man, that's a tough one. I'm not sure, like, specifics on contract things. Like, for example, if there's like the Legends contract, let's just say with WWE, are they allowed? We don't know the exact provisions.
Are those appearance? Yeah, are they appearance contracts? Are they, whatever? Are they exclusive contracts? Like if you, leave a TV station and you had an exclusivity contract, do you have to go do the weather in a news bag, in a paper bag? Linda gets that because here in Milwaukee that happened to us. I dressed funny because of John Milan, and then John Milan showed up on another station in a paper bag for 6 months because he couldn't get past his no compete clause.
Insane. A name that comes to mind, just because there are a lot of hardcore matches and teetering along the hardcore lines there.
Here, I'll do a Matthew. Nick Gage.
No, sorry. I was gonna say Mick Foley. That's
what holy Foley.
He may not necessarily participate in a match, but just having a meet and greet appearance, or kind of like just to draw more people to that destination. How Undertaker has his last man stand, or his stories kind of thing.
The last, storytelling. Something
along those lines. I mean, if you have some other, or maybe just some huge convention that you tie in, kind of like what they've been doing with the major pay-per-views as well, the fan fests.
A WrestleCon.
Right, exactly. So that can help draw just more people in. And of course, if you're going to fly for that, you're going to obviously go to the big event as well. So that name comes to mind. Again, that's why I brought up the Legends provisions. But there you go. Made an appearance. Maybe he's a special guest referee. Maybe he's an enforcer.
And, Mick obviously doing the stuff with WWE Treasures right now, him and Booker T, kind of working that. I'm going to throw out one name there that is a current WWE superstar, and maybe his contract will expire. And I think it would be over huge in London, and that's Drew McIntyre. If Drew McIntyre, now WWE being the smart company that they are, do they keep him under contract? Do they hold him? Do they renew him? Throw extra money at him just so he doesn't go over there and make that big splash. Let's talk about on the women.
But he also was just on the draft too. He was drafted, right. I think, to Raw. So
right. He was. Let's talk about the women. There's one huge name out there that's wrestled for New Japan Pro Wrestling and used to be in WWE, and I think her name is Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné would be a huge draw at that All In show as well.
Absolutely.
Her teaming up with Trinity. I mean, if we could, because the Forbidden Door does work between TNA and AEW. Or Impact Wrestling.
Yes. Well, that's another great guest right there, because it could be a one night only thing too, for like right now. They can always tag up again for future events, but that being the initial first time they're back together as a team, and it's just for a one night only thing, that would be huge as well.
We can fantasy book this all day long. However, All In happening Labor Day weekend on pay-per-view, unless you're going to jump the pond and head on over to AEW. Let's get into Raw results from last week and talk a little bit about I forget what it's called now. It's the WWE Heavyweight Championship. It's WWE's Heavyweight Championship, right? Is that what they're calling it now?
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, the tournament started, and even though the belt is going to be exclusive to Raw, the tournament involves people from SmackDown that are exclusive to SmackDown, but if they win it, does that mean they have to go to Raw and SmackDown? The convolution of the lines between what's exclusive to Raw, what's exclusive to SmackDown. The draft is fun TV, but then the rules are out the door in about a month. We got the Raw side, and that was Seth frickin' Rollins. Linda?
Yeah. I liked how you got 2 doses. Well, 3 for one particular episode. You got one triple threat match and then another, and then that final match with the 2 winners.
They really pushed it in, yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, Fear Boners pushing it in. I mean,
Yeah, but no, I think that's great. I mean, how hot is Seth Rollins? Literally, burn it down.
He gave Matthew a fear boner. I mean, he was so afraid of how hot he was.
Yeah, no, I thought Seth Rollins being the representative from Raw is great for this. And then I know we'll jump to SmackDown, but as far as holding that title, and even though it's exclusive to Raw, does it go to both shows? We'll find out. It sounds to me like it just would be the Raw. It would just be Raw, but would the SmackDown representative jump ship? That's I don't know if that's really been said, like you said, but we'll figure it out. It'll gel together once we get to night/day of champions.
You know what else I enjoyed seeing too? It had been a while, but having Shinsuke Nakamura back on TV and working, and he had a great match with Damian Priest. Damian Priest is a major player, and he will be a top guy someday, and I'm really happy to see Damian Priest out there. But a good guy to work with was Shinsuke Nakamura.
Absolutely. I mean, shades of NXT, black and gold. That was awesome to see. And just, again, the revival, if you will, no pun intended there, of Shinsuke Nakamura.
How about, Sorry, they're PR now. Yeah.
But no, I was just going to say, good. I know we didn't really dig too much into the Backlash results because, it already happened. But, we went through the fantasy draft points. But I will say good for Damian Priest. Now, we talked about this pre-WrestleMania. The rest of Judgment Day had a match, but he did not. And now he gets this one. I mean, Judgment Day were there involved and stuff too, but this match was, it was a co-headline match pretty much. And having a lot of that focus specifically on Damian Priest being back, representing, being years hometown Puerto Rico, and just, I thought that was amazing. And that match too, once again, I watched that intro over and over because, man, you just get the feels, just that crowd. I mean, they obviously have to come back.
I miss Boogs playing him in.
Oh, for
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes.
Sorry, Boogs is Boogs, and I would love to see Boogs get a little bit bigger thing, but that's another story
altogether. Wisconsin's own, and
that's right. I've lived in Franklin. Yeah, I've lived in Franklin. All right. Let's go to the SmackDown side. AJ Styles has won the SmackDown side, and he will take on Seth frickin' Rollins at Day of Champions. I did it for you, Linda. Day of Champions. You would think that all the tea leaves are telling us it's Seth frickin' Rollins, right? But why wouldn't it be AJ Styles?
Yeah, especially just coming back from his injury, and obviously with the OC being a top pick in the draft, that gives you some sense there that there's gonna be a big push for the OC and for AJ Styles. I mean, he's been out of the championship range titles view shots, if you will,
right,
for quite a while now. And
his job has been to carry the OC for a little bit.
And I know we've discussed this in prior matches Seth Rollins has had, is that he's so hot, he doesn't necessarily have to be that champion or a champion at the moment. So
he laid down for Cody last year, 3 pay-per-views in a row.
Yeah. So with Seth being the Raw representative, makes sense. But hey, AJ Styles, what a huge comeback, and just another way to be the first ever, and something well deserving for
absolutely
the veteran there.
All right. A man that was picked last and got picked on for being picked last took his match to the moon and defeated Corbin Barron in about 10 seconds.
That was great to see. I like how the NXT introduction, or former NXT talents who are now on the main shows, they're getting that intro, they're getting that segmented back with Adam Pearce or whatnot, and it's
Pretty Deadly also showing up as well. Kit Wilson and an Elton Prince now on the program as well.
Absolutely, yes. And I love how they're you're brought up to the main shows, but still nothing changed from what their character was. We're keeping them just the way they were. They're still heels, they're still faces. I'm loving the introduction because I am a big fan of NXT. It's great to see just the next step up. And that match with Cameron Grimes is great. We haven't seen him on our programming in quite a while, so great to see.
The Grayson Waller effect will debut this Friday as well on SmackDown. So that shirt hopefully is going to be debuting with him. I mean, it was a bright red, a yellow, a blue. He was a pretty happy-looking guy.
Oh, yeah. Big fan of him as well. And was LA Knight drafted to Raw or SmackDown? Because I'm just trying to think. I know they were both on NXT 2.0 for a bit, but that's something where you got two tremendous talkers and something where
they had a pay-per-view match or one of those Tuesday night special type matches. But yeah, I'd love to see them go back and forth. Lots of great debuts happening on SmackDown last Friday because it was the first SmackDown with the new rosters. And then finally, Roman Reigns does appear, and he talks about what's been going on with the Usos, who did not win their belts back at the SmackDown before Backlash. So Roman Reigns says, you know what? We're going to fix the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens problem. Myself and Solo are getting the title match at the Day of Champions. So that means the Universal Heavyweight Championship will not be defended again, second pay-per-view in a row, but Roman will be on the card.
Yes, and potentially bringing the tag titles back to the Bloodline. That would be huge for Team Long Time, as I do have Roman Reigns and the Bloodline on Team Long Time for this year.
And because you have Solo, he's part of the Bloodline, that would be a double title win if it happened.
What a huge splash that would be for Team Long Time.
Yeah, and then the Fear Boners would kind of soften into second place.
Exactly. But I will say, if they bring the titles, I mean, I love Sami and KO as the champions, but it could easily go back to them soon. But just for that moment, just so Roman can have the titles back to the
just for those points, and
well,
for those points,
as a whole, now he can bring 3 titles because he would be holding the tag team title as well. But also, I love how they're teasing him with the new heavyweight championship. And I know we discussed that, and I think Matthew Thomas even mentioned it, and we're like, oh, whatever. But the funny thing is, I'm glad we're talking about this the next night on Raw, when Paul Heyman came out mentioning how lovely, I don't remember verbatim, but how lovely that title would be for the head of the table as well. So, and he, and them having that title there as you walk past it to get back, you see that Roman walking past it or peeking at it, if you will.
There you go. A little Peking duck, but let's talk Asuka and I heard Peking and I thought Peking duck. Let's duck our way into Asuka blinding Bianca Belair. The WWE website says it was a missed sneak attack. If you're standing in front of somebody, is that really a sneak attack? Did you sneak? Or if you're just standing here and go like that, is that a sneak attack?
It could be because it was a trick.
Well,
shake her hand.
it's a trick attack.
Yeah.
But if it's a sneak attack, aren't you sneaking around from the other side?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm debating the word sneak, basically. Like when I hear people say they want to cut the TV on. Doesn't the word cut mean to sever, to stop, something like that? So
I've never heard that, but
I talk to a lot of folks from the South.
yes. Okay. Or no, I was gonna say, with work or something, you might talk televisions more than I do.
Yeah, I cut it on, mash the buttons, stuff like that.
Okay.
All right, but Asuka, she's diving deeper into this almost insane kind of character, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how she didn't come out with the full makeup on and just came out looking like she was gonna shake her hand, and then Bianca got misted and misted good.
That's right.
But I will say this is great because, as mentioned, this is the first time we are seeing Asuka post WrestleMania, post losing that match to Bianca,
which I thought she would win. I thought that was her shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So smells like another match for night.
Afternoon of Champions. So I want to ask you this though, Bianca Belair. I'm surprised she didn't get the mayor of the county of Knoxville to come out and congratulate her as well. So that was kind of weird because they were in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
The guy that learned how to do the thing from his dog.
I think that they did do homecoming, a type of homecoming thing for her in the past. So this was,
we're talking about Kane, right?
What?
We're talking about Kane, Glenn Jacobs, the mayor of the county of Knoxville.
Oh yes, sorry, that went right over my head. But yes, that is surprising. But obviously, a setup more for the setup for that sneak attack from Asuka.
Gotcha. Hey, we forgot to mention this on Raw as well, on the Raw kind of recap here. Brock Lesnar not done with Cody Rhodes. Brock Lesnar sporting a big stitch line on his forehead. Cody whipped his ass, and nobody whips Brock Lesnar's ass.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Cody Rhodes that did that.
Yeah. Obviously, some shenanigans still to come, as we know that match has been announced, that rematch. For Night of Champions, but should be interesting because we did have Cody with the victory. Is this now time for Brock to get that revenge? And
Brock was pissed because Cody said he had moved on from Brock. I thought that was more than anything else. But hey, I wanted to segue off of it. The big line, the big stitches in the forehead of Brock Lesnar. Let's talk about stitches in the forehead of Don Callis.
Yeah.
And to kind of make our way there. And I segue into the main event from Dynamite last Wednesday. Don Callis turning on Kenny Omega and basically the Elite, and what looks to be joining the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah, that was quite a surprise. Shock, especially after that gash that he was given by Mox.
The gash.
Yeah, it was a big gash, yes. But no, the match itself was great. I mean, I was expecting to see some blood, and we did, but just it wasn't as blood heavy, which is fine. I mean, yeah, but we got glass. We got barbed wire chairs and whatnot, but it wasn't so hard to stomach than other matches that they've had, right? Am I wrong?
It wasn't blood and guts. It was actually okay.
Yeah, right. No, it was a great match, and fan of both men, and I saw the post pictures of the injuries in the match.
Yeah.
But again, the story out of this, Don Callis turning. Why, Don? Why? So should be interesting to see. I mean, Blackpool Combat Club already has great mouthpiece, if you will. They're all great talkers, but now you're gonna.
But they need the William Regal back in the club, and that William Regal is now Don Callis.
Then look at it that way.
Okay. Honestly, that was the biggest takeaway from the show for everybody else. The biggest takeaway for me was Mark Briscoe cutting a promo. y'all fellas need to relax. Y'all had a hard time controlling emotions when you're in the same facility. I talked to my friend TK, said, here, let's all take a drink together. It's just handing out solo cups, right? I mean, that to me was the best thing. I need to hear Mark Briscoe on the microphone more.
Yeah. I mean, he's out there a lot. Always say delegating, but coordinating, not officiating, but just really.
He's going to be special guest refereeing is what he's going to be doing.
Yeah. No, that's great to see. Yeah, I did pop at that segment because I noticed the labeling on that bottle, and if it was indeed that brand of vodka, that if it was vodka or water, but it did pop.
Now, obviously, this man deserved the spotlight that he's getting. I love that. Tony, obviously, with -1 and the Dark Order after Brody Lee had passed, with Mark's brother Jay having passed. I love that he's brought him in here. You know what? You want to work? You want to do something here? Here's a spot for you. I don't think it's sympathy at all because, again, the man's talented. He's probably, I don't remember if they were the first Ring of Honor Hall of Fame member or Ring of Elite or whatever they were calling it. But, I mean, it's well-deserved. Well-deserved. Let's finally go into Rampage from Friday night, Saturday afternoon. I don't know when the hell it aired. It aired at some point on my DVR. But the Acclaim took on Kip Sabian and the Butcher and the Blade. I will continue to say this. This has probably now gotten my attention over the last year. Butcher and Blade are a team that should be on TV. And I don't know if you think they have charisma. I think they have charisma. Matthew Thomas wants them to go back to the kitchen and start chopping stuff up some more. But the Butcher and the Blade are amazing tag team.
Yeah. No, definitely. I am glad that they're getting more TV time. Perhaps Tony Khan heard it straight from PWR today. No, that's great to see. And if they do want to have more segments, I agree with Matthew. Let's get them chopping up. So I mean, they are the Butcher and the Blade.
And they got a great look, an amazing look.
Absolutely.
Shivani was in the ring to interview the Hardys, Matt, Jeff, and Brother Zay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah! That was a little awkward. Isaiah Cassidy continued to go, yeah! I don't know what it was. I think he was trying to find something, and if it landed or not, but I was laughing. But Matt Hardy says they're going to be happy to delete the Ass Boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just so funny just from Matt and Jeff working with Daddy Ass all those years ago and now working with the Sons. That's just great. I mean, just deep down feel good to see all that, and I'm sure they'll enjoy that. But that, this is something we never ever got, I think.
We didn't actually talk about this. What was your thoughts on the Hardy Compound total deletion match? Was it total deletion? Yeah. Because we drafted right after it aired.
Yeah. No, it's great. I mean, we haven't seen a cinematic match, if you will, in quite a while, and post-COVID now. But no, I mean, always the shenanigans.
Stokely Hathaway, I knew you'd come.
just funny moments all around too, but also obviously with Team Hardy winning.
Yeah, and again, you had Axel, or is it Maxwell or Axel? Maxwell driving the car, chasing him down. That was absolutely tremendous. The main event was Mogul Embassy, Cage and Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana taking on the Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver with the Evil Uno. The Gates of Agony ran to the ring and double tag teamed Evil Uno and beat him up. Here comes Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee. So I think they're calling it Naturally Unlimited. Is that the name between Dustin and Keith Lee?
I'm not sure.
Naturally Limitless?
Not naturally something along those lines, but I'm digging the two of them together. Absolutely.
Yeah, a couple Texas boys. Remember, they're in Texas next week. So obviously, let's set up something to have a Texas match. Dustin's in Texas. He'll wrestle. Linda, that is our time. I mean, it seemed like it just started just a moment ago, but we are all set. So for Linda Kay.
Oh, can I mention some upcoming
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I wanted to say fear boners again, but go ahead.
Oh, well, I will say we have our pal, Fanny Pack Kid, FPK.
The kid.
Cal Hero. Yes, doing his thing. Man, if you're not watching OVW TV.
He's making towns, too.
You call me the Road Warrior. But get to speak to Cal. But no, definitely OVW TV. It is on every Thursday night live on Fight TV, and that is a free weekly TV show. So if you don't catch it live, you can catch the replay. You can get the replay of anything and past pay-per-views as well on Fight TV. So make sure to see our pal Cal, former senior intern Cal from PWR on OVW. And speaking of OVW, I'll be back on the road next week, Meathead, because it is going to be this month's TV special, All Systems Go. This month, it's not a Saturday night pay-per-view yet, but rather, a Thursday night TV special, which will air for free on Fight TV. And that's next Thursday night. Lots of things happening, shaking things shaping up for that. So this week's would be the go home show before All Systems Go next week. And locally in the greater Milwaukee area, we're just a couple weeks away from Crusher Fest.
Wow, already.
Yes. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so that's in South Milwaukee, and that's Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 4th. We're going to do a 6 p.m. Saturday night show and then a Sunday matinee 2 p.m. show at the tent. We're teaming up with MIAW to put on another tremendous show, 2 shows for you, and as well as appearances from WWE Hall of Famers, $1 Million Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Cowboy Bob Orton, and of course, we're also going to have Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy, aka Uncle Al Snow, there for signings and appearances as well. So check it out. Again, that's Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 4th in South Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Nice. Yeah, Milwaukee area. South Milwaukee is it's south of Milwaukee. I don't know if you caught on to that yet, but South Milwaukee, just south. I've actually spent time in the 53172 as well. I spent a few years down there in the middle of all the streets that start with the letter M. That was a old promotional line from a place we used to go to a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, that is it. So again, for Linda, for Team Fear Boners, otherwise known as Matthew Thomas, you can giggle all you want. You can snicker at his Fear Boner. He might get afraid. I'm the man they call Meathead. You're defending and reigning 2023 PWR Fantasy Draft winner. Thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.